Hello there.
Hello, beautiful.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fandom Fights. I am Tim. That is Nick. We got a fun Fandom Fights match for you today. We got Will Cohen going up against Alec Miller. Nick, thoughts on the match?
I'm excited. Like both these guys. Alec coming off a really good win. Will, haven't seen him in singles since more towards the beginning of the year. Had a rough start, but he went on to do greater things in other leagues. Held some belts over there. So I'm excited to see him dip his toe back into Fandom. But Pinheads, his team has been doing really great. So I think we got a good matchup coming here today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's go talk to the players right now in the promos.
I'm back. Not really much to say except I'm hoping to keep this. It's not really a streak, but keep it. Get it to a two win streak. But yeah, man, I played Will a couple times. I know he's really good, so it's gonna be a good match. But I'm just trying to make sure that I stay away from retirement matches. That's my main goal here in Fandom right now is stay out of retirement matches and continue that with a win here. So let's get it.
Will. Sometimes there are trivia goals and sometimes there are life goals. My life goal is to be as relaxed and chill as Alec is because, my gosh, I felt like I was sinking into this chair while he was talking. It was wonderful. Your thoughts on the match?
I'm just glad to be back here. This year seems to be mirroring my last season a lot, where I was up against someone who had been in the league a long time, lost by one question. Did that with Alex at the beginning of the year, but then after that, I went on a pretty decent run after that. So let's see if that happens for me. But otherwise, let's have some fun.
Let's fun DMC this. That's a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Robert, I like it. Don't make up catchphrases on the spot, my friend. That was not good.
Not the best.
Not the best that you can do, my friend. I know you. You can do better. Nick, thoughts on the promos?
Liked them.
Great. Round number one. How's it going to work?
Round number one. It's going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions that I'm a fan of fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we'll say pens down, at which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece, and should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number one, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number one?
I don't think so.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. First question will come in the category of Disney animation. In which Disney animated movie will you find the location Diet Cola Mountain?
Nick, I got really nervous because the other day you were like, hey, could you write a couple questions for me? I don't know if I'm going to have time. And I said, yes. And then I did. And I marked the match as done.
Yes.
And now I'm looking and it's not done, but the questions you took out were not questions I wrote. So I was like, I got really nervous.
Like in the not in this match?
Not in this match, no.
Oh yeah, I'll explain.
Pens. I got really nervous. Let's go to Alec.
I went Wreck-It Ralph.
And Will.
I also went Wreck-It Ralph.
That is correct. 1 point apiece. Your next question is in the category of horror icons. Who plays Glenn Lance in A Nightmare on Elm Street?
The reason I took them out is because we rescheduled a match. And then that match is no longer before a different match. So I moved some of those questions into that one because I'm lazy.
That makes so much. You are a smart cookie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Will.
I said Johnny Depp.
And Alec.
I also had Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is correct. Still tied 2-2. What's next, Nick?
Third question comes in the category of Marvel. At what type of location does MJ tell Peter that she loves him in Spider-Man?
Do you remember where you were the first time you told Anna that you loved her?
Sure do.
I remember with Maggie too. Obviously, I'm not going to say because that would be silly of me, Nick. But I guarantee mine is more embarrassing than yours. 5.
Don't know about that.
3. Oh, I bet it. I might have to message you. 1. Pens down. Let's go to Alec.
Cemetery.
And Will.
I said cemetery.
Cemetery is correct. 3-3, keeping pace. Your next question is in the category of epic adventures. In The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, who does Merry share a horse with when riding to Minas Tirith?
You ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
Are you a fan?
No, I was bad at it.
It's not comfortable.
They made me do it at like summer Jesus camp.
Very inefficient way to travel.
Well, now, but not
Correct.
hundreds of years ago. 5, 4,
No, even then.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Will.
I said Gandalf.
And let's go to Alec.
Eowyn.
Oh,
Eowyn is correct.
Okay.
So it is 4-3. Alec is in the lead. What's next, Nick?
Next question comes in the category of criminal underworld. How does John Wick die in John Wick Chapter 4? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, big spoiler on that one. I thought about writing that question recently, and I didn't because I was like, this feels mean. But clearly, someone else did not give a fuck.
True. I didn't and still kind of don't believe that happened.
Oh, they could easily bring him back if they wanted to.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Alec.
I just went gunshot.
And Will.
I said he was shot multiple times.
I think we can take both. I think he was shot multiple times, right, Nick?
Don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say it's wrong, but we'll go with that. I thought the whole thing was a shootout where.
But there's
Oh,
multiple.
but isn't there 3 shots? He shoots him like.
And he gets shot multiple times. He gets shot at least like 3 times.
Will, hey, Will, shush. I don't remember. So at this point, we need to make a decision. Are we accepting it or not?
I've said yes multiple times now.
Okay, I'm just making sure because now I'm confused. Yes, I think we should take it. So 5-4, unless Alec is wanting to challenge.
I kind of want to be that guy and challenge it. I think it was just the one shot, but I don't know. It could go either way, I guess. But
Are you challenging, Alec?
I am challenging.
Okay, we will be right back. All right, back from the challenge. We watched the scene. He is shot multiple times, so will get the point. It is 5-4 in favor of Alec. And the next question is going to come to you in the category of Law and Order. And your question is, in which Law and Order film does a man try and sell C4 explosives to an undercover cop? Oh, man. I am sleepy. I went to bed last night at the time that this match is starting.
Me too, actually.
I was super sleepy, and it was our anniversary, and we had a very large meal.
Nice.
We went out for fish. 5.
I slept like all day yesterday because over the past 3 weeks I've driven.
That's down. That's fair. Let's go to Will.
Rush Hour.
And Alec.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour is correct. 6-5. What's next, Nick?
Your next question comes in the category of James Bond. In No Time to Die, who physically passes the Heracles nanobots onto Blofeld, ultimately killing him?
Yeah, we went to a place called St. Paul's Fish Market. And it was really good. And we had fried calamari for an appetizer, and it was And then I had some cod and some shrimp. Maggie had some scallops. Oh, so good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Alec.
I just went with an N.
And Will.
I said Matilda, his daughter.
Both are incorrect.
Okay.
We're looking for James Bond. James Bond.
Oops.
So no more perfect rounds here today, Nick, but your next question for the players is going to come in the category of YA. How many YA films were directed by Bill Condon? What was the last film you watched that wasn't part of YA? Wasn't a fandom film. Maybe.
There you go, Tim. What's it called? Anyone But You?
Oh, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Great film.
That's the one.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah.
4. I liked it. 3.
A lot of abs.
1. Pens down. Yeah. And ass is what I thought you were going to say. But let's go to Will.
I believe it's the last 2 Twilight films, so 2.
And Alec.
When in doubt, 3 and out.
2 is the correct answer. So we are tied up 6-6. Your next question is coming to you from Nick.
Your penultimate question comes in the category of American Spies. What type of vehicle does Lindsay Ferris die aboard at the beginning of Mission Impossible 3?
Oh my God. My sister babysat last night while we were out to dinner. She just texted me, forgot to show you these last night. Your daughter has strong selfie game. And she just sent me that. It's the teeth that do it for me. Look at those teeth.
But
that's not
adorable.
a selfie, Tim. Not a selfie. So you
Yeah, that's the first repeat for Alec.
Question again. What type of vehicle does Lindsay Ferris die aboard at the beginning of Mission Impossible 3?
So because Ellie wasn't taking the picture, you're saying it's no good.
Correct. Taken by someone other than yourself, ergo, not a selfie.
This one has more teeth. Look at it over here.
You're missing the point.
She's so cute.
You should be infuriated.
Her favorite
Nick,
word
I think,
is no.
Nick, I
though.
think you might be missing the point. That's a cute kid.
I get every point ever.
1 pens down. Let's go to Alec
I said airplane.
and Will.
Yeah, just a plane.
Both are incorrect. We're looking for helicopter.
Oh,
Helicopter.
Okay.
All right. Your final question is in the category of Star Trek. And your question is, which Star Trek character has, throughout the course of their movies, gotten married, traveled on the first ever human warp ship, and been shaved by a colleague?
Shaved.
That's what I said, right?
I know, I was just enunciating as well.
Shaved.
Yeah.
How often do you shave to keep that looking as good as you do?
I'd say like every 2 or 3 days I like clean up here and
Yeah.
but as far as like trimming, maybe like once a week.
That's not bad. Does it get hot? 5, 4.
I mean, I guess.
1. Pens down. My neck beard gets warm. Let's go to Will
I said Riker.
and Alec.
I said Kirk.
Riker is correct. So Will will take the 1-point lead after being behind most of the round. He comes out 7-6. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, let's get into round number 2. How's it going to work?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 8 fandom categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep it. They spin the second time. You get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like to check down a multiple choice, at which point it will only be worth 1, but be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, what's on the wheel today?
On the wheel today, Nick, we have Epic Adventures, MCU, Wizarding World, Worlds of DC, Law and Order, Criminal Underworld, Mixed Bag, and Jimmy B, James Bond. Will, you are in the lead. Do you want to spin first or defer to Alec?
Will.
Yes.
Way to crawl. Way to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. See? I don't care what Tim says. I think the Fun DMC, I think that worked. Because look who you are. How do you feel? Do you wanna go first or do you wanna...
I kind of want to, do what, harken back to your guys' team name, rule of two. Let's go second.
Of course, yes. Great team. Great strategy, always. So defer.
All right. So, Alec, this will be the spin for you. And it lands on Jimmy B, James Bond.
Let's spin again.
I am shocked, Alec. Ooh, and it lands on opponent's choice. So,
That's
we
fun.
bring in Mr. Kastner.
Will.
Robert.
Jimmy B.
Jimmy B.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, Alec, you're going to be getting your questions from Jimmy B, James Bond. Are you ready?
Shocker. Let's do it.
Nick, will you please go ahead and give those questions?
Gladly. Alec, your first question in James Bond. Which Bond film opens with Bond fighting a man dressed as a woman at his own funeral?
Let's go. Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Thunderball, B, Diamonds Are Forever, C, A View to a Kill, or D, Spectre?
A.
A is correct for 1 point. And a tie game. Alec, your second question. Who plays Jinx Johnson in Die Another Day?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Rosamund Pike, B, Halle Berry, C, Michelle Yeoh, or D, Eva Green?
Halle Berry.
That is correct for 1 point. Alec, your third question. Who attacks Bond and Goodnight after they leave Scaramanga's island on his boat at the end of The Man with the Golden Gun?
You might as well be speaking another language to me right now. Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, J.W. Pepper, B, Jaws, C, Knick Knack, or D, High Fat?
C.
C is correct for 1 point. Alec, your penultimate question in James Bond. Quantum of Solace opens in what European country?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Ireland, B, France, C, Spain, D, Italy?
France.
That is incorrect. Will chance for the 1 point seal. Your options again are A, Ireland, B, France, C, Spain, D, Italy.
Spain.
It's also incorrect. We're looking for D, Italy.
Okay.
All right, and Alec, your final question in James Bond. Who gives Bond unauthorized assistance from MI6 after his license to kill is revoked in License to Kill?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Moneypenny, B, Q, C, M, or D, 006?
D.
D is incorrect. Will chance for the 1 point seal. Your options again are A, Moneypenny, B, Q, C, M, or D, 006?
Q.
Q is correct for the 1 point
Okay.
seal.
All right, so at the end of Alec's turn, he gets his total up to 9. But with that steal at the end there, Will is at 8. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I have, Tim.
Okay, so we'll bring back in Mr. Kastner and the wheel. This will be the spin for Mr. Cohen.
That went all right.
And it lands on Worlds of DC.
Okay. So you don't have a lead, but it's very slight. I would say this is probably a middle category. You did some work in it. Would you rather try to risk it and get as close as you can to like a kill shot, even though we can't do that? Or do you want to take it and just try to build something up?
I think the rest of the wheel is pretty good for me. I think I want to risk it.
Okay, yeah, I would say of everything that's there, that you got rid of the worst thing. So anything else is pretty good play. So let's spin again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again.
All right, this is what you're going to be stuck with.
Bruh, bruh, bruh.
And it lands on the Wizarding World.
Cool.
All right. Will, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of the Wizarding World. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, your first question in the Wizarding World. Which Wizarding World film features characters using the Room of Requirement to transport to the final battle?
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
That is incorrect. Alec, chance for a 2-point steal.
Half-Blood Prince.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Oh.
Are you
Can I
looking
bring? Can I talk to Robert just for a second?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So, I
What-
mean, I mean, you know, technically they come into the Room of Requirement. Neville brings Harry, Ron, and Hermione in there in the final battles at Hogwarts. So you could make an argument of that if you wanted to.
If we tried though, do you think we would win that argument? Because it is worded pretty specifically where the final battle, and if there are, and
I think it could go either way. I think this is a weird, dicey one. Honestly.
Should we just hold on to it and just?
I think. Yeah, I mean, you still are in good shape. Could still get up by 7 potentially if you wanted to. If you could.
Okay, let's just let it ride for now because I'm not 100% sure now that's the Room of Requirement. Let's just play.
Well, I am. I know it is. But
Oh, you are? If
Yeah.
you know that, if you know it's the Room of Requirement, then let's challenge.
Okay, we are going to challenge the fact that this has multiple answers, and it could be the Deathly Hallows Part 2 in addition to.
We'll be right back after this challenge. All right, Nick and I talked about it. We have decided not to award the challenge to Will. The score is 9-8, and Will is getting his second question in the category of the Wizarding World. Will, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Your second question. Who voices Dobby in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Oh, no. Toby Jones?
That is correct for 2 points.
Okay.
Your third question. Who points out that Harry may have put something in Ron's drink before his first Quidditch match in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince?
Hermione.
That is incorrect. Alec, chance for a 2-point steal.
I believe it's a Luna Lovegood.
That is correct for 2 points.
Good shit.
And the lead once again.
Mhm.
Will, your next question. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Snape believes that Harry and his friends are stealing from his store to make what specifically?
Polyjuice potion.
That is correct for 2 points. And the lead. A lot of back and forth here. And your final question, Will. In Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Fred and George help Harry spy on the meeting of the Order by using a device that looks like what body part?
An ear.
That is correct for 2 more points. And at the end of round number 2, I have Will in the lead 14 to Alex 13. Is that what you have? Or I'm sorry, 11. 14 to 11. Okay, so it is a 3-point game is what I was thinking in my brain when I said that. Nick, how's round number 3 going to work?
Round number 3 is going to work like this. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions in the realm of Fandom fights. Once players hear the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they will gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 3?
Oh, one question. So both Alec and I do not have our challenges anymore, correct?
That is correct.
That's
Okay,
correct.
just verifying. Okay.
Go, Tim.
All right, first category you can bet points on is Law and Order. Let's get bets, starting with Will
I said 2.
and Alec.
Oh, I want 1.
All right, your question in the category of Law and Order is: who kills the main villain, Fouché, in Bad Boys? Is that right?
Yes, I'm shocked you did because I thought for sure you were about to say Fouchit. But you didn't.
I watched this movie semi recently, but I got really scared as it was coming up.
It's fair. I did too.
Shit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Will.
I said Mike.
And let's go to Alec.
Oh, and Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry is correct. 16-12 is now the score. Nick, is that what you have?
Correct.
What's next, Nick?
Next category we have points on is Pixar.
Let's get bets, starting with Alec.
I went 2.
All right, and Will.
I went 1.
Okay, what's the question, Nick?
Your question is, in Toy Story 3, what mode does the group accidentally set Buzz to when trying to set him back to normal?
I like this movie.
I do as well.
Just not my favorite of the Toy Stories, but I like it a lot.
I'd agree with that.
And by a lot, I mean I think it's a pretty perfect movie. But I gave it a 5 out of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Alec first.
I just put Spanish mode.
And Will.
I said Spanish.
Spanish mode is correct. So it is 17-14. Back to a 3-point game. Your next category you can bet points on is DC. All right, let's get bets starting with Will.
I said 0.
Okay, and Alec.
I went 1.
Okay. The question, the category of DC is: who voices Robin in the Lego Batman movie? I'm just dying in your arms tonight. Sorry. I like this movie a lot. Children can be cruel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Will, who bet 0.
I was waiting for him to call me a dick. Michael Cera.
And Alec.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is correct. 2-point game, 17-15. What is next, Nick?
Your next question will come in the category of sci-fi icons.
Let's get bets, starting with Alec.
Oh, 1.
And Will.
I also went 1.
Okay, what's the question, Nick?
Your question is, which sci-fi icons film features a relic called the Orb of Garaka?
Children can be cruel.
Yes, indeed. We were watching an old match while we were driving, testing, and the question was like, name a movie that Sam Elliott's in. And the first you go, glorious mustache. And I was like, Tim.
Oh, because I like.
If they didn't know he had a mustache, and now someone's like, oh, the mustache guy.
Oh, gotcha. That was rude of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
4,
I yelled it past you.
2.
Yeah,
All right, that's the second repeat for Alec.
Question again. Which sci-fi icon's film features a relic called the Orb of Garaka?
Maybe I should yell it past Nick. What's something dumb you've done?
Nothing ever.
Okay. You've done a lot of things that I remember that make me laugh, like the time you went, I'll be.
I really never thought that was that funny, but
Oh, I thought it
everyone
was
keeps bringing it up.
the funniest shit ever, dude. That made me laugh. Were we a team when you did that? I don't think we were. Maybe you
Might have
were.
been.
Maybe we were. I don't know.
I think we
Yeah,
were.
I think we had to have been. I think YA, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to go to Alec first.
Got nothing.
Nothing. All right. And Will for the win.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
And your winner, Will Cohen, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, is the correct answer. Had Will missed that, we would have moved on to the final question, but he hits it, secures the victory. Nick, thoughts on the match?
Very back and forth. You even commented mid-match about how back and forth it was. No, I thought that was great. I think Alec hit a lot of key questions in round 3. He bets 2 instead of 1 on one that Will bet 0 on. Maybe we're tied going into the last question. I think this was just a great match overall. Alec played great. He was perfect through 6. And I was sitting there like, Alec's like teetering on a perfect round right now. But then he like missed a couple and Will took the lead. But it made for an exciting match. So always a good one when these two are playing.
Absolutely. Let's get into post-match interviews and talk to the players right now.
Alec Miller, regardless of win or lose, at this point, every match you've played in for the past like 2 years at least have all been like super close to the wire, or at the very least exciting back and forth at some point throughout. Great win over Nick last time where you had a sizable lead and Nick caught up towards the end, putting you on your toes. Yeah. Whereas this one, there was no safe place throughout the entirety of the match. Like you were ahead, then Will was ahead, and within a single round 2 category, the score flipped or the lead flipped like 4 times. In a match like that, it's kind of anybody's game. It just depends on where the questions at the end fall, and they happen to fall in Will's favor today. But how are you feeling about the match overall?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. It was I feel like I got the questions I got, the questions I knew, the questions I got, the questions I didn't know. I'm surprised. I surprised myself with that James Bond second round, being able to pull out a couple points.
I thought you were about to guess all 5 correct.
That would have been amazing. But no, yeah, it was a good match, a very close match. I feel like this. I don't know if it's going to go over anybody's head. I'm a big UFC guy, and I'm like the Donald Cerrone of fandom. I'm exciting. I put on exciting matches. I might win a few here and there, but every now and then I'm going to come back down like, okay, never mind. We remember where Alec's at, but hey, it is what it is. But I have fun. This is a good match for sure.
No, and you played really great. Not going to lie to you, the reference did go over my head. I'm unfamiliar with the sport, but if they have teams UFC, would Donald Cerrone play at a UFC?
I think he might. He's trying to. He would fight. He would fight any fight. So, yeah. Any chance I can get to get in the ring and do some trivia, I'm always down.
Sweet deal, because you'll definitely come back and play again in singles next year. But I think we'd like to see more of you. So, and I don't know if you've ever been on a team. If you have, it's been quite a while.
A long time, probably.
But if not, be on the lookout. Is team something you're interested in?
Yeah, for sure.
Dope. Then when that post goes out, I'll be sure to put your name on it.
All right.
Sweet deal. Alec, thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Will coming in the winner's circle. After quite some time, but not because like you've been on this crazy losing streak, just because like you lost and then you took a long break, and that's sort of where we're at right now. But I think this is a good bounce back match. Alec is definitely he's old, like he's been here longer than a lot of other people.
Right.
He's on the rise to where he's not an easy win by any means. So getting a win over him today, I think is very good. Getting your record back up to 500, I think is very good. It puts you in a nice spot. How are you feeling about all of those things I just said?
I feel very good. This kind of coincides with what I was saying at the in my intro, though. This is playing a very closely to how my last season played. I played Ryan Payne at the very beginning of the very beginning of the season, and lost by 1 question. Came back and played a mainstay of the channel, who everyone thinks is who could be an easy win, but really sometimes isn't. I played Jim Green and won that match fairly well. And we'll see where this goes from here. But Alec did really, really well. He's definitely improved since last time I played him over in Ontel Geek or whatever they were calling it. And but the thing is, I've kind of improved as well, and so while the questions did some kind of go my way, I think this does show that I can stay in the game, even when when the match starts slipping away from me. Robert, you say some stuff.
Yeah, I think this was one of those, not to be narcissistic or self-involved, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's my only experiences. I remember when Kaiser and I played our first match against Chad and Noah, and we were like, yeah, well, whatever. And they kind of came out and hit us in the mouth a little bit at the beginning, and I was like, oh, this won't be that easy. And then things turned, and as it should, the tides turned. This is kind of how I felt in this match. And you took the lead. He got opponent's choice, but he got some questions right we weren't necessarily expecting. And then you got Wizarding World. Tough question we challenged on, understand the ruling. You missed that other question. He took the lead back, and it just kind of kept it close. But I
always
think
the risk when you take your opponent's strength.
Always the risk, but I think you were always kind of a cut above, and that showed sort of in the last round. I think if you had to bet, you could have ended it earlier, but
That's
you
fair.
chose to play strategically, and it paid off up to the end. And happy that you got that last question right, so we didn't have to test, and I didn't have to come up with another code because Jesus, turns out those are hard to do. Yeah.
Great. Well, gentlemen, it may not feel like it right now, but it is November 30th. Wow. And therefore, this is your last match of this season, Will. But I think getting yourself back to 500 on a win is a good way to go into next season. Who are you hoping to go up against when that happens?
Oh, so there is a lit. I looked at a list of players who were just like right below, especially like right around where my record was, and there are 3 names that came to mind if they got their next win. Cody Newberry, Payson Johnson, and John Marr. All three of these would present different kinds of challenges to me, but all 3 matches would be so much fun. So please make one of them happen.
Can I throw out a couple more? And Will, you can decide if you want to take these or if you want to shut them down.
Let's do it.
You could do your Ryan rematch, since that one was really close. You guys are pretty close in record, I think, if I remember correctly. You got also Pinhead Jeremy. You guys are close. You could do that too. The mustache, the big chill. Mark.
Oh, Mark. Ooh.
Do that too. Those are all.
I like the idea of Mark.
Oh, yes. I came up with one that works. There we go.
I'd like to point out Robert made funny sounds for 2 of the people Will said, but not for the third one.
That's because I wasn't expecting it, and John deserves more respect.
Indeed. Well, we'll see if we can make one of those happen, but congratulations on the win, and we will see you next season.
I personally love the idea of Mark. Not for Will.
Just in general.
He said that he said he likes the idea of Mark. I love the idea of Mark. The thought of the mustache just gets me going. Nick, this has been a fantastic match. Sorry. Thank you to Alec. Thank you to Will and Robert. Thank you to you for writing, Nick. I have been Tim. We'll see you next time with another great episode of Fandom Fights. Until then, have a great night. Bye-bye.